Well, it began at their daughter's dance class. Two mothers and successful businesswomen sharing their concerns over too few women engaged in financial matters. They decided it was time women take a greater interest in their finances, and soon after, a website and book were born. Laura McDonald and Susan Meisner are the founders of GoldenGirlFinance.ca and the authors of It's Your Money, Honey, a girl's guide to saving, investing, and building wealth at every age and life stage. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Glad to be here.
On this snowy Valentine's Day. What a great book. I had a chance to get through quite a bit of it, and I want to start by talking about why a girl's guide. You really talk about how women really need to make their money work harder and smarter for us.
Definitely. What we're trying to do is change up the voice of finance. Women do have unique needs. They're still earning 83 cents, sometimes even less than their male counterparts. And a lot of that has to do with the caregiving role. You know, we're a way to care for our children for periods of time, for older parents, and sometimes both at the same time. So it does have an impact on our earnings over our lifetime.
So it's time for women to really ask some of these questions. And I think, you know, as you say, some may feel a little bit intimidated, and really it's time to just take control and find out, you know, what you need to know, information you need to have. We are getting there, though. A good point in your book, Susan, is about 2008 money replacing marriage is the #1 topic of discussion between mothers and daughters.
It has, and we're very excited about that. And, you know, further to Laura's point, you know, we're seeing 60% enrollment in universities now for women. So we're getting there. We're controlling more and more of the family wealth. And, you know, we're just taking the reins. We're moving from simply doing the budgets and whatnot into more and more wealth creation.
And a point that you certainly make is you go through each life stage from, you know, moving out and having your first apartment to getting married to having children. Really, it is about being prepared for those curveballs.
You want to get engaged now. You want to get engaged if you're young, even if you're older. You have to start taking a greater interest in your finances if you're not, and you have to start arming yourself, you know, having professional allies that you can turn to when a time of crisis comes, having a, you know, emergency fund set up, insurance planning. You know, there's so many things you can do now that'll really protect you and your children and financial legacy down the road.
Because I guess the biggest mistake is if you're not prepared, then that's when you're starting to, you know, hit the credit cards or the line of credit, or using, you know, some of those high interest cash sources that you really shouldn't be hitting. So it's time to get engaged right away. And I know I've got some points that we can kind of hit on with five points. First of all, get interested, get empowered, start asking questions now.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do with the website and the book, I think, is change up the dialogue so that, women start getting really involved in the discussion and start talking about it with each other as well. It's kind of a taboo that we don't talk about is money, so open up that discussion.
Okay, and then surrounding yourself, as you mentioned, with financially savvy friends. A lot of us, you know, may have, say, you know, business colleagues or places that we like to go and talk about, but we certainly don't have, you know, maybe the regular accountant or the regular lawyer. Have those people armed.
Absolutely. You need to have those people in place now so that you're always operating in a position of financial strength. You know, we want women to have a financial advisor. We want them to have a tax accountant because, you know, when it comes to a time of crisis, you know, you're going through a divorce, typically we're seeing women, they will experience a 27% decrease in their standard of living after a divorce, whereas a man will actually see a 10% increase. So we want them operating from a position of strength. We want them ready so that when those inevitable curveballs come, they're ready.
You're prepared. Okay, and we are out of time. I'm going to run through these. Put as much importance on your retirement as your kids' education. Know your tax breaks. And as you mentioned, get insurance and make sure you have the right coverage in case you do hit that curveball.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it so much. And there is the book, It's Your Money, Honey, available in most bookstores. It's now 7 o'clock, and you're watching CTV Morning Live.